观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看由微博客户端主持的微博小调查。今天我们有幸来到了北京大学，有幸采访到来自塞浦路斯的西班牙语教授索菲亚教授，来跟我们谈一谈他在北京大学做客的2个月内的自己对中国文化的一些看法，以及他在西班牙语教学上的一些见解。
Hello everyone, welcome to our show. I'm from Weibo. Today we're going to do a small investigation. Our setting is in Peking University, and we are very honored to have our guest, Miss Sophia, from Cyprus, as our guest. So after she's teaching in Peking University for 2 months, teaching Spanish, we want to ask about what the difference between what's his opinion about teaching in China, and also about the Spanish teaching strategies.
索菲亚教授非常荣幸能够采访到您，然后您在中国住得还愉快吗
It's my pleasure to interview with you. I want to ask, do you have a pleasure, comfortable living well in China?
Oh, thank you. It's nice to meet you as well. I am really enjoying staying in China. I really like the culture. Also, the weather is really good compared to UK, because I have been living in UK for that time before. So yes, thank you. I'm really enjoying myself in China.
谢谢。我现在呢，我十分享受在中国北京的时光。自我看来，我非常喜欢中国的文化以及中国的天气，都比英国要好很多。因为在来到中国之前，我是在英国居住的所以我很喜欢。
好，非常高兴能听到你喜欢中国。那么我想知道，就是当您到中国的那一刻，对于你来说冲击力最大的东西是什么
？Thank you. Like in my country, I also want to ask, when your plane first landed in the mainland China, what is the biggest difference you see when you land off the plane?
Well, the first thing I actually realised when I got off the plane is how hot it was. And it was just so crazy, because even in the winter in London it's freezing, but even when I arrived it wasn't even that cold, like it was really good. So I noticed the weather. I also noticed all the signs in Chinese, and because I can't speak Chinese, it was like for my eyes like a really big difference. So that was another thing that kind of I was excited to see.
当我对我冲击影响最大的是主要是天气。当我一下飞机的时候，我觉得这天气真是热的让我实在受不了。因为在冬天的时候呢，天气通常会比较寒冷。那么当我去中国的时候，天气并不是那么冷，所以我觉得天气还是蛮舒服的。还有一个就是当我下飞机的时候，我看到所有的标牌横幅都是中文。对于一个不懂中文的外国人来说，我觉得这是我所见过最大的不同。
那除了天气之外，您在北京吃的住的习惯吗
？Except the weather, apart from the weather issue, what about the food and the living conditions in Beijing?
Okay, this is interesting. Well, what I think is that because in Beijing it's like a really big city, and I didn't realise that most of the living is in the tall apartment blocks, because in London we have more like houses, but I didn't see any houses there. So that kind of really surprised me, but I like it. And the food, you have so many different type of food that we don't have in UK, and it's food that is quite rare, or that is not so popular around the world. So I thought that was also really interesting. And a lot of cars, that's the last thing, a lot of cars.
我觉得最有趣的是，当我在北京的时候，首先我住的很愉快。当我在北京的时候，我看到很多的高楼大厦，我真感到很奇怪，因为我在伦敦的时候很多都是住宅区， 没有那些高楼大厦，所以但是我很喜欢北京这些建筑。说到食物呢，我觉得这是让我最兴奋的事情，因为食物中西方的食物很不同，尤其是和英国对比，我能吃到很多一些比较少见的比较一些少见，但是却很受欢迎的一些食物。其次就是车，我觉得北京车真的是实在是太多了。
那么这一次北京大学有幸邀请您到我校来做这个西班牙语的客座讲师，非常的荣幸。那么我想知道的是，就您这2个月的教学经验看下来，您觉得中国学生的西班牙语的学习基础，他们的底子如何，以及您自己的教学计划？
It is such an honor for Peking University to invite you as their visiting lecturer. During your 2-month teaching Spanish experience, how would you see the Chinese students' Spanish level, and also what teaching strategies do you want to adopt while you were teaching?
Okay, so I think the main thing is that because in Spanish we have a lot of complex grammar, so we have a lot of different tenses, for example, past, future, present. I mean, there's a lot of different ones, conditional, a lot of them. So I think for the Chinese students, because they told me that in China the grammar is quite simple, it's not too, they have set words, but it's not too difficult to learn the grammar part. So for them it was more difficult to find language with so many rules, so many different grammar. It's just the pronunciation is very different as well for them. And yeah, I think that was the main teaching style, just to make them feel comfortable and confident to speak well.
我觉得，主要可能是因为在西班牙语中，他们的语法构架十分的复杂，比如说时态，过去、现在时、将来时。那么我的中国学生告诉我，在中文中并没有这么复杂的时态，他们的语法都相对比较简单。所以我认为，在他们学习西班牙语中最困难的地方，可能就是这个语法的架构吧，语法这个问题。其次就是发音，我们发现发音对他们来说可能也会有一点吃力。再一个就是我希望我的教学目标主要是能够为他们营造一个比较舒适的环境，能够增强他们信心，去勇敢的去说。我觉得这是主要的。
这真的非常好。那么，就我所知，有许多在您任教的英国大学里面，西班牙语的学生都会有很多到实战演练的机会，我们所称的 field trip。然后，但是在中国的大学，这些好像机会不是特别多。那么，在您的教学当中，这一类的活动是否会随着您的教学而展开？然后，您是否会代表英方跟北京大学签署一系列的交换协议，从2校之中挑选优秀的学生来进行交换，然后促进对西班牙语教学的传输和发展？
As far as I know, that while you were teaching in UK, there you have a lot people who major in Spanish have a lot of practical study, like the field trips. But in China, it seems that we rarely have this opportunity. So I want to ask, do you have any plan to develop this plan for your main strategy? And do you also want to develop a strategy for the exchange students from UK and with China to select the best students to exchange abroad?
Oh, okay. I think that the most important thing when you learn a language is to put yourself in the native country or become surrounded with native speakers, because it makes you have to learn it, it makes you more pressurized, you have a lot of pressure to learn it. So I think that's useful for them to have a field trip. I would like to do that. If the university allow me, I would definitely do that, because I think it would really help them, and also they can find a different culture and learn about it, so I think that's good for them as well. And for the exchange students, I just think if they're motivated if they have like a good grade and their level, it depends on their level of Spanish. That's how I mainly choose the exchange students. But I think so far the system has been working because all our students are great.
我认为最主要的就是语言吧。我觉得语言最好，如果你是一门语言学习者，你最好是去以母语的国家去学习，这样会学习更好，因为当地都会说这种语言，使你有一种感觉是你不得不去学，就会迫使你去主动去学习这个语言。所以我认为这对他们来说是很有必要也是很有帮助的。关于我所说的这个教学这个策略，我觉得如果大学允许我做这个实地教学的话，那么我是很乐意的，因为我觉得这对他们的以后的学习发展会有很大的帮助，也可以让他们去学习当地的一些文化。说到这个交换生项目，我觉得我的选择学生的标准就是我希望他们有足够的动力去学习，一个好的成绩是必要的，其次就是他们西班牙语的这个基础，所以我会根据这3方面这个标准来去选择学生。但是呢，我们这个选的系统是一直都在选学生，因为呢我们的学生其实成绩还都是蛮好的。
听到这些，就是我大概了解了您关于就是在中国在北京大学任教的这2个月的一些西班牙语教学的基本情况。那么我们现在来谈一些比较轻松的话题，就是在您在中国待的这2个月，您说到您不懂中文，那您有没有意愿去学中文呢？通过您对中国的2个月的生活来看。
Now I have the understanding. Now I learned what's your teaching strategies and what's your opinions on this issue. Now let's talk about something which is more relaxing. During your 2 months living in China, do you have because you cannot speak Chinese, and I want to ask, do you have the willingness to study Chinese? To study Chinese.
Yes, definitely. My next plan is to study Chinese because I think it's a very interesting language and it has a lot of history. Because before, I don't know, I think Pinyin was only developed. It wasn't that long ago that it was developed, so you had only the characters in that time. So I just think it has so much history to that language, and it's like, I think it's a very beautiful language, and I would love to learn it so I can integrate more in the Chinese society, make more friends with my colleagues, other professors.
我觉得如果有机会的话，我是肯定要学的，因为我下一步计划就是学中文。我觉得中文对我来说是一个非常奇妙的一个感觉，因为我很喜欢，因为中国呢有很长的历史，然后那么在这个历史长河中呢，你们的语言也一直在发展。我觉得中国的文字也是我所见过可以说是最美的文字，所以我觉得如果我能学好中文，或者是试图学中文的话，那么我就可以融入这个社会以及和我的伙伴们我们的感情可以升温，可以玩得更好。
然后就我所知，索菲亚教授您本身会说4到5门语言。那么作为一个语言学习和教授，您觉得在语言学习上是天分更重要，还是后天努力更重要？
Sophia, I know that you can speak 4 to 5 languages. I want to ask, what do you think about someone's learning a language? Which parts, is it more important for someone who have a gift to learning a language, or perhaps about learning by working hard?
I think, to be honest, I think both of them are equally important because, firstly, if you don't have a motivation or you don't enjoy it, then you won't want to do it. So you won't become very good at it. That's what I think. I think when you actually like that